on. I am hoping that I have sound. Let me see. I don't know if I have it or not. I'm going to turn. Okay. Hopefully, I have sound. I'm hoping. Because one video I posted, I didn't have sound. So, I am going to talk about two things today. We are still on restaurant stories, restaurant horror stories, just restaurant stories in general. I am in my car again. Yes, I am. A lot of running around, lots of things to do. It's about to be Thanksgiving, y'all. I hope y'all have a wonderful Thanksgiving. I'm still going live um, after Thanksgiving. Yeah, I'm still going live. So every single day till the end of the year, I two stories I want to talk about. Okay, it's saying my phone connected to the car. Oh Lord. Let's see. Hopefully I got some sound before I get into the story. Let me see. Is it doing it? No. Why is it not going? Okay, this is wild, y'all. Stay with me. All right. Hopefully, hopefully I got sound. I'm hoping I do. If not, I'm gonna have to do this over. But I think you guys can hear me. All right. So one story I'm gonna talk about is one story is going very viral because some people got kicked out of a restaurant. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. I'm gonna talk about that. And then also I'm going to talk about this restaurant in California. I want to get on here because I don't want to scare people when I'm talking about eating out because some of y'all eat at people's houses and it ain't clean either. Some of y'all houses ain't clean either. But that's your business and that's their business. And it's your business if you want to go eat at people's houses and restaurants. I am pretty sure I have probably ate at a restaurant that I did not know was uh, not so clean. Sometimes you look around and you're like, okay, I want to check it out. I have left restaurants if I felt like it was unsafe to eat, if it felt like it was unclean. I remember going into a Chinese restaurant, no shade, because I've been to some wonderful Asian restaurants. I've been to some wonderful soul food restaurants. I've been to different types of restaurants internationally and, in the States. But there are some restaurants where I had to get up and leave. And one in particular, it was a Chinese buffet and it looked disgusting. Not only did it look disgusting, it just had a very weird smell. Absolutely just, oh. I was like, what is going on? I remember another restaurant that I was eating at. It was just like a hamburger joint. The bathroom smelled so bad. And that probably wasn't their fault because their food looked delicious and somebody was probably bashing and had to go to the bathroom and then boom, but the fact that I was sitting in there for at least probably 7 minutes or so, 7 to 10 minutes, and that smell was just lingering. Like they didn't stop anybody to go in there and at least like try to spray something. Or I was like, nah, I can't do it. I can't do it. It wasn't because of the food or nothing. It was just the fact that that smell was like somebody's guts had came out. But anyway, so there's a place in California. It's called Faux Love. I believe it's a faux restaurant, and it's in the Bay Area. And they said that it got shut down yesterday or earlier today or something like that because there was a guy on the roof. See, somebody watching somewhere. I don't care what you think you got away with. Somebody watching. Somebody know because that's just the way God works. Somebody knows something. They watching somewhere. So there's a worker on the roof, and they see this guy in the restaurant. He has two slabs of ribs, and he has cardboard, and then he has like a blue, it's not a tarp, but he had like some kind of blue plastic on the ground to try to line I think it's what the ribs may have come in, like a plastic bag or whatever. So there's cardboard on the ground outside. There is a blue plastic out there as well. And this guy has these two big slabs of ribs and he's just throwing them on the ground. Literally throwing ribs on the ground. Boom. So what happened is they said that the ribs were frozen and they were trying to get them unthawed. That is the dumbest thing I ever heard, that you would just take ribs outside and you're like breaking it. You know how you had a big bag of ice and you're like banging it on it. This is what this dude was doing. And he didn't have it wrapped. Even if he had it wrapped, it's still suspect that you're in a restaurant. Hey, how are you doing? Thank you so much for joining. He's in a restaurant trying to feed these to customers. So somebody confronted him, and maybe the health department or something like that, and they try to claim that they were not going to sell these ribs. They said, no, I'm not selling these ribs to any customers. Well, what you have them for? You have a whole restaurant and you're not selling those ribs to the customers. Like, who are you giving them to? You taking them home? Are you giving them to staff? So we knew he was lying. So the health department, of course, was called on them, and then come to find out they had multiple violations, disgusting place, and then they had a roach infestation. And this place be packed. It's called Faux Love in California. They just got shut down, and to me, that just makes me think of the scripture where you just got to pray over your food. When you pray, there is a supernatural protection, because not all the time we actually know. Now, when you know, don't go and do it, uh don't go do it on purpose. Don't go eating at a place and just like, oh, I just pray over my food. No, just don't go. But I do believe in prayer, and I do believe that when you go to God and you say, hey, Lord, protect me from this or protect me from that, Father, I'm praying over my food because that's what you desire for us to do. I do believe that there is a supernatural protection from that. But again, if you know that a place is disgusting, you know that a place has multiple violations from the health department. One of your friends got sick at that place like a couple weeks ago or a year ago or 2 years ago. Because I hold grudges on restaurants. If I get sick at your restaurant, and that's only happened to me probably not very many times, I got sick at a burger place that is very well known. And I used to bash their burgers. Yep. It almost took me to the king. It sure did. I said never again. Never again. I have not eaten there since I was like in my 20s. And they used to have the bomb burgers. Tastes like it was flame grilled. And then I remember right before I got sick, they changed it or something, and the burgers were disgusting anyway. And that's when I got sick and I stopped eating there. I remember another place that I got sick at, and then a young lady that was at my house and my daughter, we all three of us got sick right after. Like, I didn't even leave the restaurant and I was sick, but I thought it was just me until the other two got sick later on that day. And it wasn't like later on, it was like when we got home and we were only like 5 minutes away from the restaurant. So hey, how are you? Thank you so much for joining. So with that, be cautious of the restaurants that you go to. Definitely make sure that you pray over your food, because these restaurants are getting shut down left and right. Like, they are cutting corners. I know an African restaurant that I wanted to do a review for, and I was so gung-ho because I have an African friend that makes jollof rice and goat and what is the oh crap, I'm forgetting what it's called, but it's the ball of yams that you eat with the food and all of that. And I have some Indian friends that had made me some naan. Like, they can cook. Different cultures can cook. And this African lady has a business, and I was just like so geeked about it. The food was decent, but I could tell it was old. And I remember telling my friend about it, and she was like, yeah, we don't cut corners like that. Like, we were taught not to do stuff like that. And that's what I've heard from all the rest of the people who have restaurants. Like, yeah, they didn't came down here and just doing whatever. That food was old, just old. It was. I was so mad because I didn't even finish it all. And I usually bash my African food night. They give me a lot of food, and I usually just bash it, and I could have some left over. But that food was like sitting in the refrigerator. I didn't even finish it. So, all right, I will be on here tomorrow with another story. I thought I would have time to talk about it, but it's good enough to wait for tomorrow. So I am Regina, the real Gina B. Date with a plate. Only eat it if it's good.